also want to say this about Pac. I want to say this about Treach. I want to say this about Scarface. These three young men, as artists and men, have a bond that we need to teach. And people need to use their model, what they did from back then. Because Treach and Tupac was road dogs. Still today, you can count on Treach to represent Pac. You can count on Treach to live with Pac for us. He still represents that man. Same thing with Scarface. The face is gonna fuck with Pac no matter what. That's why I was so joyful when we did that song with Face and Pac, Smile. Man, I'm moving down. Look at all that. Nigga, you black. Man, I'm moving down. These two people love Pac. They ride for Pac. And they're not doing it on no fake shit. They doing it because they two real motherfuckers.
The bond between Face and Tupac, and Treach and Tupac, man. Treach and Pac always been very close. This we know. And if you guys recall, man, early on in the Wack 100 blogosphere days, if you guys recall, you know, what really birthed him being this drama king, drama queen, R.I.P. to the drama king, DJ K-Slay, who, you know, Wack always is name dropping him. You know what I'm saying? Wack loves to name drop people like a game verse. You ever notice that? So wild. And then that's his client. And it was friendly extortion the way it all went down. It's so crazy, man. The fakery and fluckery continues, right? Just like flashback to what we were speaking of after he sucker punched Stitches and got all this internet momentum and was going all over in the blogosphere, stirring up ish. Nothing like how he does today. This was the early stages. This was when the Tupac movie was coming out, and Wack was on a daily campaign to disrespect Pac, Afeni Shakur, just stir up all kinds of ish. You know what I'm saying? And word was he might have even got paid to do so, like a underground campaign, you know, or he was just tied to the individual behind it all. Who knows, man? It's some real goofball ish the way he went about doing it. But y'all know Wack, he does ish like that, and then he says the truth can never be considered to be disrespect. I mean, you can't tell someone else what they consider something to be. And not to mention the fact that not everything this dude be saying is actual, factual, and truthful. You know, there's so much fakery and fluckery and semantics and goofballness to it all. It's just ludicrous. You smell me? But back when that was all going on, Treach went off on Wack 100. Treach and Spice One, another dude that had a close bond with Pac. But Treach was like, yo, you got to cut that ish out. Like, we ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? And Wack and Treach was supposed to get down. And then the rumors came out that one of the members of the Booyah tribe put Wack to sleep. But that didn't happen. But what I believe happened, comment and let me know what you believe, and tap in and let me know if you remember all this ish back then, was that they stepped in on Treach's behalf, and Wack backtracked like a motherfucker and didn't want no problems, no smoke, then started trying to call Treach a basehead, you know. But Treach and Pac very close, as you heard Suge talking about there. Ain't that so crazy too that Wack rode Suge's coattails during the Row era of the death row, not even the real death row heydays, the Row era, and tried to soak up everything he could from Suge and get his foot in the door and cut his neck, cut his throat with any connections that he had. Just some real fakery, fluckery, tomfoolery, and shady griminess, you know. Stab you in the back, twist the knife 4 times and act like, what did I do? The truth can't be considered disrespect. You know what I mean? But it's just so wild in looking at all this full circle, the way things are today. Suge Knight doing this podcast from jail, and comment your thoughts about Pac and Treach, their close kinship, and Scarface as well. Scarface is someone that I don't want to say he's criminally underrated, but in a sense he is, but he isn't, because it's not like anyone doubts Scarface's abilities on the mic and his artistry and what he brings to the table as an MC, as an artist. Like, people definitely know he's a living legend, and thank God he was able to get that organ donation, and he's still here. If you didn't know, we almost lost this legend a couple years ago. God is good, he's still here. But I don't know, it's just like his name, even though people know he's the truth, his name gets left out of so many greatest MC conversations and things like that. I just can't quite understand why that is. And Smile for me is fire, a straight classic, but something that I didn't know in regards to all this, and comment and let me know if you had heard about this, is that there was a project supposedly supposed to come out. You see even an album cover put forth. Now, I don't know if this was just someone threw together, or what this was, or if this was really something, put together by someone within the industry, and this was really supposed to be a cover to a project. I don't know if it indeed was official and real and was supposed to come out, or if it was supposed to be an EP or an album or what. It would have been dope as fuck. You see, it's called Two-Face, which would have been a very interesting name for the project, right? I mean, they're just playing off the two MCs' names and putting them together. But, like someone like Wack 100, that name really fits. The way all this stuff just fits together full circle is type crazy. It kind of reminds me of the Machiavelli Dillinger joint, Don't Go to Sleep, that Daz made with Tupac, and I don't know that it was ever cleared to come out. He just stole some recordings from Death Row, and I think put it together himself and just leaked it or put it out for digital download or whatever the case may be. It was never like officially cleared. And with this whole Two-Face project, that's what a lot of people theorize, that there was label politics and stuff like that that made it never come out. But I don't know, I just thought that this was something worth talking about, and how dope that would have been if this project came out, and if there were actually songs recorded, like you see someone speaking about in one of the threads, like, damn, too bad it can't get leaked. You know what I'm saying? Like, things get leaked from time to time, but it's like the projects that the people really want to hear, if they really do exist or whatever, they never see the light of day. Why in the fuck is that, But comment with all your thoughts about all that. There's one more thing on here in regards to Death Row and Suge Knight that I totally forgot about, was that Deion actually put out a couple rap albums, the Prime Time, as an MC. You know what I mean? And that's the thing with Deion too. I think a lot of people didn't realize, the same way that Wack 100 was trolling and playing all these goofball games and stuff like that, creating this internet persona, to get his troll on and be wrapped up in all the controversy to get his name buzzing. Primetime was doing that, kind of portraying a character in a sense. The prime time that we saw in interviews and stuff like that really wasn't necessarily the real Deion. In some ways it was, but in some ways Deion was kind of trolling before there was trolling, or he was creating like an alter ego and a persona, because he was way ahead of his time as far as seeing the full picture and the full scope of things, and getting endorsement deals and putting out a rap album, or doing other things, like how today, aside from him just being a coach, he's got Coach Prime, he's doing sports shows and stuff like that. Like, the deals are still coming in, and it's so wild. Suge Knight actually said that this was supposed to be on Death Row Records, but I guess it didn't end up happening that way. And what Suge Knight said in regards to all this was that Deion Sanders, when Primetime wanted to be a rapper, he said, I want to be a rapper. I spent over $500,000 of my own money. I put guys in the studio. I paid Dallas Austin. I did all these songs, did everything. Then one day he came to me and said, well, you know, Prime deal with Nike and Death Row is a black owned company. And we don't really want to deal with a black owned company, even though you pay for everything and we sign you. Put us on the Interscope brand, Suge told the Daily Canon. So kind of is like Suge is claiming that him and Deion had the deal all together, and then Deion was telling him more or less, and this is according to Suge, you know, because we know Suge can tell some tall tales and get the trolling in a sense, you know, like not as out there as Wack 100, but he can kind of be out there in a sense. You comment if y'all feel me on that. But basically that, you know, Deion was supposed to be with Death Row, and people that he was dealing with in the music game, you know, didn't want to deal with a black owned company, according to Suge Knight. So the projects went out under Interscope instead of Interscope / Death Row. Again, this is according to Suge. And, you know, it just says how Deion put out 2 albums, 94 Primetime and 2005's The Encore Remix. Primetime even charted, reaching number 70 on the Billboard Hip Hop chart and 14 on the US Heat Seekers chart. However, it's definitely brand new info that the album could have originally come out under Suge Knight's iconic brand, which again, who knows if that's actual factual, but that's what Suge's talking about, you know what I'm saying? And like we said, Suge can tell some tall tales just like Cash Jones, you know? But comment if you remember those Deion albums, and if you thought they were any good or anything like that, as well as everything else we touched on this one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Look forward to talking to y'all in the comments.